They're in the back, the door's patio door.
Okay, you know what we got?
All I heard was the grandfather shot the grandmother.
Police are at the home of Scott Engelbrecht and Joyce Ann, where just a few moments ago, a killing spree took place. It all began with a chilling 911 call from a 21-year-old desperately trying to protect himself and his mother from the killer.
911 emergency.
Yes, I need somebody to come to 1124 First Avenue South. My grandfather just shot my grandma with a fucking gun.
What?
And he's coming after me and my mom.
But investigators have no idea that this is only the beginning of a harrowing crime that will claim more lives before they even reach the scene. And the reason for this nightmare will turn out to be nothing they could have ever imagined. Around 5:40 p.m. on June 16, 2018, emergency lines in St. James, Watonwan County in Minnesota received a call from 21-year-old Dylan Matthias, who was witnessing any son's worst nightmare unfold.
911 emergency.
Yes, I need somebody to come to 1124 First Avenue South. My grandfather just shot my grandma with a fucking gun.
What?
And he's coming after me and my mom.
Okay, someone's on the way. Who is this?
This is Dylan Matthias. My grandpa is Scott Engelbrecht. He just shot my fucking grandma. He's coming after me and my mom.
Where are you
Please,
at?
hurry. I'm at the house. I'm locked myself in the bathroom.
Are you in another room?
I can't get outside. I'm stuck in the house.
Okay, and where's
my
he
mom
right
is
now?
outside somewhere.
I need to know where the gun is.
Trying to get my mom. He's trying to get my mom outside somewhere. If I go outside, he'll shoot me.
They're inside or outside?
My mom and him are either outside or inside. I'm in the bathroom. I locked myself
You're in the
so I didn't
bathroom?
get shot. Yes, I locked myself
Do you
in
know
here.
if your grandma's okay or not?
I don't know. She's laying on the floor. I think she's dead.
Okay, officer should be there, okay?
As dispatch immediately alerted officers with the St. James Police Department, they knew Dylan and his mother were in grave danger, with his grandmother's life hanging by a thread. But they had no idea the tragedy was far from over.
Party on the phone says there was a male party shot his grandmother.
At that moment, all they understood was that 59-year-old Scott Engelbrecht was moving through the house trying to claim as many lives as he could. As they quickly rushed to the scene, one of the officers instantly spotted Scott in the backyard, walking around with a loaded firearm.
Sir, can you put the gun down? Put the gun down! Sir, put the gun down now! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. Okay. Put your hands behind your back. Wait a minute, there. Don't reach in your pockets, okay? No. Okay. No, just keep them in your pockets for now, okay? Well, put them back in your pocket. I don't want them. Okay. Set them on the driveway then. Set them down. Got anything else in your pocket? Just the phone. Okay. And
One on 26, 72, 7
Good. Go inside.
But while it may seem like Scott has admitted guilt, getting him to talk later will not be that simple. For now, as officers rush inside the house to reach the three victims, they find a scene far more disturbing than Dylan had described on the call. Inside the house, officers find Joyce lying on her side in a pool of blood with a gunshot wound to the forehead. Thankfully, she's still breathing and responsive, and officers immediately call for medics to rush her to the hospital.
I got that. Because he's coming after her too. Where's he at? He's in the car. Okay. Alright. They're in the back, the door's patio door.
You know what we got?
All I heard was the grandfather shot the grandmother.
Officers also quickly find Dylan, who had been hiding in the basement bathroom. But unfortunately, the same could not be said for his mother, 43-year-old Rachel Elaine Linder. She was not found inside the house, and as officers searched the area desperately looking for her, they located Rachel 2 houses away on a porch, completely unresponsive. A medical examiner would later confirm that she had been shot 3 times, in the head, back, and forearm, at close range. As the initial scene begins to settle, investigators are left with a long list of questions. But the most pressing one is why? What had happened to cause Scott to brutally shoot his wife and stepdaughter with such anger? As Scott is brought in for interrogation, the answers will not come easily. And when they finally surface, they will reveal a motive that completely changes how investigators understand this crime.
What's wrong? What's wrong with you right now? Why are you groaning?
Oh, I hurt.
Where are you hurt?
My back.
Why do you hurt? Why is your back hurt?
I don't know. Oh.
Okay, Scott, I'm going to go ahead and read your rights, okay? If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you?
I'm dizzy.
Do you need something to drink? You want water?
Oh, that might help.
Are you having a panic attack?
I don't know. I've never felt like this before.
Okay. Well, just relax. Everything's safe here, okay?
As detectives try to assist Scott with his symptoms, they continue to worsen, delaying the interrogation and eventually requiring medics to be called in.
Scott, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have an EMT come up and take a look at you.
Okay.
And we're going to make sure you're doing okay. Okay? Does that work?
Thank you.
We're going to get, they'll check your blood pressure and stuff. Make sure you're doing all right. Check your feet and your hands. Okay? Sit with that blanket on for a little bit. Hey, come on in. Come on, Mark. How are you? I'm Derek. This is Scott. Mike. Scott is talking that was a little chilled. Okay. And that he had a hard time feeling his feet and his hands. Okay. And that he felt a little dizzy. And so we just want to make sure that he's doing okay. Yeah, you can check him out quick. Just gonna place this on your finger.
Even after receiving medical attention, Scott tells detectives that he does not wish to speak with them. But what detectives don't yet know is that Scott will eventually speak in great detail. But it just won't be with them. For now, as they will proceed to speak with Scott's family and friends to find out more about him, a disturbing picture about the family's twisted dynamic will start emerging.
So, how long was it that you think you were downstairs?
Maybe 5-10 minutes.
Okay. So
In between there, roughly.
5 to 10 minutes, you're just laying downstairs on a
I was
bed?
about ready to turn on the TV. I heard, "You shot her, you bastard," and I heard a thud hit the floor. So I come running upstairs with my taser.
Okay.
And I said, "Hey," and I went to tase him. And he turned around real quick with the gun. And I ran real quick back downstairs. Because I wasn't trying to get shot.
You know, so you heard, did you hear the gunshot? Do you remember? You didn't hear a gunshot.
No.
You just heard your grandma say, "You shot her, you bastard."
When I grabbed the remote, I turned on the TV. And Then I heard, "You shot her, you bastard," because my mom yelled it.
So your mom's the one that yelled at?
Yeah.
Okay. And so then
I had his attention on me, so my mom could get out before he shot her.
Okay.
And I told her, "Don't stop running." I yelled it.
Okay. So you came up the stairs. Did you see your grandpa have a gun or anything?
Yes, the .22 caliber.
Do you ever know what kind of gun or color it was?
Brown.
Wooden stock type thing, or?
I don't know much about guns.
Okay.
Was it like a handgun or was it a rifle?
It was a rifle, 22. Like a shotgun type.
Okay.
Older model, like
Okay.
ones where you had the thing on the side and you tie.
Okay. All right. So how did he have the gun in his hands when?
Like this, and I said, "Hey," and he turned.
And pointed the gun at you then?
I did grab my phone, locked myself in the bathroom.
Did he come downstairs at you at all? Or?
I don't know. I locked the door.
Okay. So, as far as you know, you heard somebody, your mom say you shot her, you
when
bastard.
I came downstairs and she was heading out, I heard her say, "Run, Dylan, run, don't stop. Get out of here."
Okay, so you told her to run as well, though?
Yeah, I told her not to stop it in the close.
Okay. Okay. Let's, Dylan, I know this is painful, and I just want to make sure I get all the facts, okay? So that's why I keep backing up and going over it, just to make sure I'm clear, okay? So you came up, did you see anybody?
After you
heard that?
911.
Yeah, okay, but I'm saying we're working ourselves up to that, okay?
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So you heard the thud of the person fall down. You come up. Was your dad or grandpa pointing?
He was going towards the kitchen.
Where your
shoot
mom
my
was?
mom, and she was going out the door.
Was your mom in the same room as him then, or no?
She was in the kitchen area, getting ready to go out.
Okay.
And run.
But then what did you say to your grandpa?
I said, "Hey."
Okay.
And I yelled it to get his attention.
On you?
So that my mom could get out.
Okay.
I was in a taser.
And then you turned around. Did you have your taser with you then?
Yes.
Okay. So did you grab your taser as you were running up the stairs then?
It was sitting right next to my bed.
Okay. So then, did you try to get to him with the taser?
I cracked it, and I was trying to get to him, but he had the gun when he turned around.
He pointed at you, and you just said, "Screw it," and went down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been scared before.
No,
I don't know what it was.
It's a scary thing to have something like that happen.
But while Dylan's account, combined with the responding officer's testimony, is enough to put Scott behind bars for a long time, detectives still need much more to establish a motive. Just then, they receive the news that Joyce has also died from her injuries. But what detectives don't yet realize is that they have not yet uncovered the worst part of this case. With a double homicide now on the line, going to trial without a clear motive could make a significant difference in how the case is prosecuted and sentenced. The pressure to understand why Scott carried out the attack grows by the hour, and with him refusing to talk, detectives continue speaking with others in a desperate effort to uncover the reason behind his actions. And immediately, a family friend described Scott as an angry, vicious man who never hesitated to raise a hand on his family.
First fight that I remember witnessing between Joyce and Scott was, I think 2 years ago was the first one that I remember. It's always been about money. They always fought over money. You know, Joyce would always be the type that would help somebody out, as you may know, like, always help somebody out. And she'd be helping people out, and he'd get mad about it.
So, like, she was giving people money, or okay?
If you needed help, she would basically give you every last penny.
Okay. Do you remember who it was she'd given money to?
No, it might have been Rachel. He was calling her all kinds of bad names, like she was worthless, she was no good, she deserved to be dead, just all these horrible things that I just brushed off as, you know, stepfather getting mad. A whole bunch of things he was saying, and the one thing that caught me was that he says that he wished that day he said he wished that he would have gotten rid of her a long time ago. I didn't know what it meant at the time. You know, this was in the last 6 months, and over the last 6 months, one of the times in the last 2 months, she had another mark, and I don't remember which eye it was, but it was like, you know, pretty significant on her face. And I asked her about it again, and she, you know, typical Joyce, played it off like, oh, I fell. Like, no, that time she told me she hit it on the cupboard door. Because when she opened the cupboard, the dog went under her foot and she hit it on the cupboard. And it, again, ate at me because I knew that she wouldn't have hit herself with the cupboard because of the way the cupboards were. And she told me finally, a couple of days later, that Scott had hit her with a frying pan.
And things had been no different when Joyce tried to leave Scott and he found out.
One of Joyce's bags that just had clothes in it was in Rachel's car. And that's not normal. You know, it's just Rachel's stuff in her car. And I believe that bag got put back into the house because Dad didn't recognize the bag, and he thought it maybe was one of the relatives that was digging through her car, left their bag on the passenger seat. So they knew that they were leaving. He knew that they were leaving, and he snapped. And you guys know the rest of the events on how he chased her and everything, unfortunately.
But while this is a strong possibility, the truth about what led Scott to snap and kill his wife and stepdaughter had nothing to do with this discovery. Yet, despite everything investigators were learning about Scott's temper, not everyone believed he was capable of such violence. In fact, many people who knew him described him as a kind and gentle man.
Why don't you just tell me about Scott throughout the years that you know him? I know it's been a lot of years, but how, as a person, how was he?
Good person.
Okay.
I have nothing, and I know nothing bad about Joyce, you know, but Scott I've known forever.
Okay.
He's a worker.
Okay.
Hard worker.
Okay. He's a great guy.
And he tries to help. He's helped me. All right. I will be like an extension of his arm for him free.
We were helping out here a couple of years ago. We put a sink in this lady's home that didn't have the money to put a sink in. He says, I'll buy it, you put it in. Okay. So that's what we did. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of kind gestures like that he's done over the years. But
can you just tell me a little bit about Scott? Like, I guess
Sure.
I'm looking for like his demeanor and how he interacted with you and whatnot.
Yep. Well, first I can tell you that he is the best staff person we've ever had at Tony Downs.
Okay.
And my dad has been working with Tony Downs for, I don't know, probably 45 years. And he by far was the best person to work with. He was very conscientious about his work. So he was, I would say Scott's one of those people that he was just like an even person. Like, it didn't seem like he had any highs or any lows. He was just like down the middle.
Okay.
At this point, detectives had two very contradicting impressions. From the outside, Scott and Joyce appeared to be a kind and friendly couple, and neighbors saw nothing unusual about their marriage. But those closest to the family knew a different reality. Behind closed doors, their relationship had grown deeply strained, and while Joyce had made the decision to leave him, Scott was unwilling to accept that the marriage was over. It was also clear that Scott's anger toward Rachel ran deep. The way he shot her showed a level of rage that went far beyond a random act of violence. But according to what his grandson Dylan had told dispatch, Scott had shot Joyce first before turning the gun on Rachel. That detail stood out to investigators, because none of the witnesses had ever suggested that Scott hated Joyce the way he seemed to hate Rachel. Detectives know that the only person who holds the answer to these questions is Scott himself. The truth behind why Joyce and Rachel were killed sits with the very man who pulled the trigger. So, a day after the murders, investigators bring Scott in for questioning, hoping he will finally explain why he destroyed his own family.
Can you tell me this, Scott? Can you tell me, are you married?
I don't think so.
What's that?
I don't think so.
You don't think you're married? Do you have children?
No.
What's that?
No.
No? Who do you live with? Anybody?
Myself.
Just yourself? Scott, who is Joyce to you?
Supervisor at work.
Joyce is a supervisor at work?
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of a relationship with her? You mean outside of work? Well, I'm talking about Joyce Angelbrecht. Who's that to you? Let me say that name. How about Rachel Linder? Do you know that name? You're sorry you hurt? You're sorry you hurt who?
I hurt.
Okay.
Scott, did you shoot 2 people yesterday?
Is that what happened?
Did you shoot 2 people yesterday?
Who?
That's what I'm asking you. Did you shoot 2 people yesterday? Yes or no?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
So does that mean you could have shot 2 people yesterday?
I'm not married.
What's that?
I'm not married.
You're not married?
No.
Do you have a longtime girlfriend? Who's your girlfriend?
Don't.
Huh?
Don't have.
You don't have? So why are you spending a lot of time with Joyce?
If detectives had given Scott any benefit of the doubt, it ended here. They quickly realized his memory loss was an act. Strangely, whenever he spoke with friends or family from jail, he seemed to remember details just fine and appeared perfectly healthy.
So, Scott, I'm going to ask you straight out, what happened? What do you think happened? What's the last thing you remember? Do you remember fighting?
You know, I'd been sick for quite a few weeks.
Okay, sick how?
Cold.
Okay. Were you taking a lot of medicine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Dayquil and NyQuil and stuff like that. Okay. But all I remember is coming home, chugging a bunch of NyQuil, going through the kitchen, and Joyce started hollering at me. She goes, well, I suppose you aren't going to eat supper now, since I told her, I said, I'm sick. Just need to lie down. She says, well, I suppose you're not going to eat supper then. And so I went in the living room and sat down in the chair, and that's all I remember.
Okay. So you don't remember anything after that? Wow.
Well, cop woke me up in his police car.
Oh. Do you remember being outside?
Huh?
Don't remember anything. Have you ever had a reaction to any of that stuff you've taken before? The NyQuil, the Dayquil, anything like that?
Well, Joyce used to kind of tease me because if she told me something she needed done before I took my NyQuil, I'd pass out and I'd do it in my sleep.
Really? Okay.
It did the whole kitchen one time.
You wouldn't even know it?
No.
How much of it did you take? Like a teaspoon, tablespoon, or a half a bottle?
Probably half a bottle.
Investigators return once again to the people who knew Scott and his family best, hoping someone might remember something from that day. And this time, detectives finally uncover the breakthrough they had been waiting for.
Was telling me about the fact that they had loaned out their house to the stepdaughter while they were living with his parents, taking care of his parents. Their stepdaughter was living in their house, and they recently found out that she was hoarding the trash in there because she didn't want to buy a trash can and pay for the disposal. So he recently found out that there was a lot of trash left in the house, and so Joyce wanted to buy and did call and request a roll-off dumpster for almost $500, and he was very upset about that. And so he was extremely upset about it and was telling me how mad he was at her for doing that, and exact words were, "I'd like to kill her," and said that he told her, demanded to her that she call and tell them to return that and cancel it. So she called back an hour later and said she couldn't get a hold of them, and said that she couldn't get a hold of them, and he said, well, you keep trying, and then start again on 6 a.m. Monday morning, because this was a Saturday. So he was just very upset at her that day and the stepdaughter.
Given Scott's temper, detectives had to wonder if something as petty as an argument over a trash can could really end in 2 murders. But the truth behind the killings would prove to be even more disturbing.
I've known you for 45 years. I don't even think I've seen you angry. So what happened to you? Just blacked out?
Yeah, I just went to sleep and woke up in a cop's car.
Wow. Unreal. I mean, does it make any sense to you?
No.
What's the last thing you remember?
Sitting in my recliner going to sleep.
You take Ambien or something? 'Cause this isn't you, man. This is not the Scott Engelbrecht I know. Stupid laugh when I'm trying to keep it up at Iowa Jam, maybe.
We're here for you. Do you understand?
What just gets me?
Yeah.
You know, I love Joyce so much.
But once again, the answer to that lingering question rests with Scott. Detectives bring him in for questioning again, knowing he is the only person who can finally explain why Joyce and Rachel were killed. This time, Scott is willing to talk about the crime he committed, but just not in the way the investigators have been hoping.
You don't remember at all having any kind of an argument or disagreement with Joyce?
No.
How's your marriage with her? I mean, has it been tumultuous? Has it been up and down, or has it been pretty good?
It's real stressful.
Stressful, yeah.
Taking care of Dad.
Yeah, I'm sure. Working every day and then having to take care of your dad. It's a lot. Does Joyce work somewhere?
No.
No?
Just takes care of Dad.
Okay. Scott, did you own guns?
I don't have no guns.
What's that?
I have no guns.
You don't have any guns? No rifles? How about Joyce? Did she own any guns?
She's got a pistol. I bought her for her birthday.
Joyce has a pistol that you bought her for her birthday? How about your dad?
Yeah.
Your dad has guns? Okay. What kind of guns does he have?
22.
Okay.
410.
So both those are long guns?
Yeah.
22 and a 410. Any other ones?
There's a third one, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. And do you know where those are kept usually?
Usually in the basement.
In the basement?
But as soon as detectives ask him about Joyce and Rachel's deaths, Scott once again appears to be confused about the incident.
It don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense that you would hurt someone?
Especially them.
And who's them?
You said Rachel and Joyce.
But during a jail call with a friend, Scott mentions something disturbing that catches the detective's attention.
I take NyQuil. Sometimes I take it for sleep because ever since I had Mom, well, I told you that I was having a lot of sleeping issues. And I've taken sleeping pills, but they don't do anything. But if I take some NyQuil before I go to bed, I can sleep. So I was taking about a half a bottle of NyQuil a night. So I can relate to exactly everything that you just said. But because I have diabetes, the NyQuil started to affect my diabetes because of the sugars and stuff in it. So I had to quit it. So I understand.
I didn't know you had diabetes.
Yeah, I have diabetes.
And when they circle back to Scott's grandson, Dylan's statement, their search for a motive suddenly comes to a stunning halt.
I hadn't done anything else. We were sitting at the table and I was laughing with my mom. And then my grandma and my grandpa were fighting because it was their anniversary and he forgot to buy her an anniversary card, or he forgot about it completely. And that was the 17th time in a row. Like 17th year. So she got tired of it and was gonna leave. So I went downstairs, go lay down and watch a little TV. All of a sudden I hear, "You shot her, you bastard," and I hear somebody hit the floor.
5 to 10 minutes, you're just laying downstairs on a
I was
bed?
about ready to turn on the TV and I heard, "You shot her, you bastard," and I heard a thud hit the floor. So I come running upstairs with my taser.
Okay.
And I said, "Hey," and I went to tase him, and he turned around real quick with the gun, and I ran real quick back downstairs.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to get shot.
You know, so you heard, so then...
I had his attention on me, so my mom could get out before he shot her.
Okay.
And I told her, "Don't stop running," I yelled it.
Okay. So you came up the stairs, did you see your grandpa have a gun or anything?
Yes, the .22 caliber.
Do you ever know what kind of gun or color was?
Brown.
Wooden stock type thing, or?
I don't know much about guns.
Okay.
Was it like a handgun or was it a rifle?
It was a rifle, 22. Like a shotgun type.
Okay.
Older model, like
okay.
Ones where you had the thing on the side and you tie.
Okay. All right. So how did he have the gun in his hands when?
Like this, and I said, "Hey," and he turned.
And pointed the gun at you then?
I did. Grabbed my phone, locked myself in the bathroom.
Did he come downstairs at you at all? Or?
I don't know. I locked the door.
Okay. So, as far as you know, you heard somebody, your mom say you shot her, you bastard.
I came downstairs and she was heading out. I heard her say, "Run, Dylan, run! Don't stop! Get out of here!"
Okay. So you told her to run as well, though.
Yeah, I told her not to stop it any close.
Okay. You locked yourself in the bathroom downstairs, and you called 911. And how long were you in the bathroom?
Like 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
After I got off the phone and put it in my pocket, ran upstairs, had my knife and my taser, and I come outside, and John pulls up. I was about ready to go.
Oh, it's a good thing that John got there. Okay, because. You don't want to live with that. You don't want to have that on you, okay?
But just as detectives struggle to make sense of the anniversary argument that led to such a gruesome murder, they are contacted by an inmate who shared a cell block with Scott, revealing a disturbing plan that had nothing to do with the motive at all.
Casual conversation at first and stuff like that, and he started giving me details as far as what was going on. One of the questions I asked him a couple of days later is that, "Well, did you do it?" I just like that, and he says, "Well, heck yeah, I shot him." And that was where he went with that. He was giving me details about the day. He went to work. He wasn't feeling well. He took some Dayquil before he went to work. He got home from work. He had taken some NyQuil and a sleeping medication of his wife's, I guess. Then he stated to me that he didn't really remember the incident, but then it started coming about that he was, to me, he did remember.
And what made you think that?
Well, just because he was starting to give details as far as the gun that was used, how he had the guns laying out on the bed. out of their cases.
Okay.
There was
What kind of gun did he say he used?
the guns that he mentioned that was used was a 22 single hand, and he mentioned about that his grandson statement that the grandson said that the guns were in the bedroom closet. And Scott said, no, they weren't in the bedroom closet, they were in the closet downstairs in the lower level of the house because it's just above the house. And that he brought them up and put them on the step on the bed. And then he went outside and put the gun up against a tree evidently between the house and the neighbors. He didn't specify which neighbor. And then something about the neighbor came out, and that's when evidently he had grabbed the gun again and was coming around the house when the police arrived and he had the gun in the hand. He has explained to me as far as like 3 different defenses that he was going to use. And the first one was as far as the NyQuil and the sleeping pill, that he didn't remember what happened. During the course of the conversation, he explained to me that when he was booked into the jail, they never took no blood test or UA test or anything. And I asked him, I said, so you have no proof that you took that's not in your blood system? He says, no, there's no proof. And I said, well, that's not going to fly for a defense. You know, and then he kind of dropped that. The next thing was that he walked in when he said he walked in when Rachel and Joyce were arguing, that Rachel shot Joyce, and that he shot Rachel to defend his family because his dad was there too, I guess. And then
So he's claiming that Rachel shot Joyce?
Yes.
Okay.
And that he shot Rachel. But this was after I told him that there was no blood test and nothing, that the first defense wasn't going to work because there was no proof of it. And that's when he brought up that Rachel shot Mom and he shot Rachel. And then after that, he goes on to say about the grandson Dylan doing it, because Dylan's got a history of the violence and getting whatever he wants from the grandmother and the mother. He just brings up the things that Dylan has done in the past, as far as that he's on probation for a rape or something like that. That he's broke into his house and ransacked his house a couple times, punched holes in the walls, shot BB guns and stuff like that in the house. Anything that has to do with violence that you can, point Dylan at. But
okay.
I thought that was his third.
In the end, detectives realized that no argument or incident truly mattered. Scott had already decided to kill Joyce and Rachel, making this a premeditated crime. Scott Engelbrecht was charged with 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder, 2 counts of second-degree murder with intent, and 1 count of second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon for pointing the firearm at Dylan. He was ultimately sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. If you found this case interesting, you need to check out my video on the homeless man that realized he's being accused of murdering a 19-year-old.